Alright, alternator removal and install on a 02 to 06 Altima. I'm taking mine off here because I am working on installing this header. If you're interested in that, check out those videos. Probably going to start a Nissan Altima playlist on my channel, so if the playlist is up, you can find it under there easily. But to install the header, get this factory manifold off, you gotta get to this bolt back here, so that's why I'm taking my alternator off. But this video is just going to be show you how to remove the alternator. So I took my plastic cover off, which is just going to be a few bolts that hold it in place. They're just these. They're actually a Allen wrench head. I managed to use a Torx bit on it, but you should use the correct Allen wrench to get those out, and then it'll just pop right off. And then you gotta take your belt off so you can pull the alternator out. So right down there, that is your tensioner pulley. So you gotta get a 14 millimeter wrench on it. It's real tight space. Get the 14 on there, and then you're gonna push it down. It's kind of hard to do one-handed. You see it move. See that? Okay. So you're gonna need a little bit of leverage. You might have to use a bigger wrench than that, but 14 millimeter, push it down on it, and that pulley will go backwards and relieve tension off the belt so you can pop the belt off. Now, since we're removing the alternator, you have positive cables running to it, so you're going to want to disconnect your battery first before you mess with that, or you will get shocked. One other thing you want to do before you disconnect the battery is unplug your mass airflow sensor. Sometimes some cars, when you reconnect the battery, the surge going through the electrical system can fry them. So the easiest way to do that, push down, relieve the tension, and then slide the belt off of this smooth pulley here. Just slide it off, it'll come right off. You don't even have to push the tensioner down all the way, just enough so you can loosen it to slide it off. Alright. Pop this off of here. So if you're removing and replacing this alternator, then you would want to disconnect these. I'm going to go ahead and, I don't necessarily need to, I just need it out of the way, but I'll go ahead and disconnect it, show you guys what to do. So you take your nut off your positive there. Pay attention if sometimes there's multiple pieces that go here. This one's just one, but sometimes there's 2 and 3 different things that loop over this bolt here before you put that back on, and you would want to put it back on in the same order, but this one just has one. This one here, I'm about to lose it. Okay, gotta unplug this one. That's neat. It looks busted. Unless the, I mean, usually there'd be a tab sticking up out of here. You push it in and unplug it. I'm gonna have to stick my pocket knife down in there with that little tab and pry it inward so I can unplug it. I think the tab broke off. I guess it's just this whole thing right here. I don't know. It, like, something broke and shot a piece of plastic out at me. But push in this tab and pull it out. Then you're hung up here. You got to squeeze in these tabs and pop this out. That's all the wiring that you need to remove, okay? But see how this is tight here, so that I don't risk damaging this. I mean, it'll probably come out without undoing this, but I'm just going to pop it out here. That way I can pull this whole thing forward so I have a lot more room. Again, there'll just be squeeze tabs on the back of this. Squeeze them in, pull it out. Looks like 2 mounting bolts. There might be another hidden one somewhere. We'll find it if there is. One here, and then you got the one down there. Also, you're either going to have to remove this bracket or pop this hose out. But I'm going to take this bracket out, move the whole thing, and it'll give me more room to get to that bolt down. So guess what? This stupid little fuse box is in the way. I can't get that bolt out all the way to pull the alternator out. So now I got to remove this fuse box. So, and this overlaps. I got to take 2 10 millimeters out of this coolant reservoir. this up. Damn cable gets caught here. Pull it up out of the way, it'll spill out of that, so be careful with that. Keep it angled up. Looks like a mounting bolt, and who the hell knows. Alright, so that one, you're going to need a deep well 10mm socket, because the head of the bolt sticks up too far for a short one. It's not going to go down on it enough so you can get it out. Mine just broke off, so that's cool. And then this little tab here, you have to depress. It attaches to this bracket right here. Push in the tab after you have the mounting bolt out, and the whole thing will just, then you can get that freaking bolt out. Nope, I lied. It's hitting the bracket. So these two wonderfully rusty little, yeah. I love working on cars. Alright, so those were a 12mm for whatever possessed reason. I can get my bolt out if I hadn't put it on a bind first, not realizing that that needed to come out first. There we go. Jesus Christ. Have fun getting that thing out. You know what? Since this has to come out, take this out first. Then you can get whatever you need down in there. I spent, I don't know, 15 minutes with hardly any room going, trying to get it out. Now I know you got to take this shit out. Just move it, and then you can use whatever and have plenty of leverage. Had I known that, I would have took that out in the first place. So this thing should be free now. They usually stick a little bit on this because it's clamping here, and on the other side you just got to wiggle it and pull it out, which is like impossible for me to do and record. Alright, like I said, they really stick. Because this and this is usually pretty tight where it mounts. If you have to, you can try to pry it out, but you got to be careful what you pry against. Like this is probably aluminum and will bend, so if you can't get it yanked out, you have to find the correct spot to pry from and try to tap it out of there or whatever. But it's not held by anything else, just those two bolts. They're just stubborn like that. So like I said, I'm working on getting my header installed, so that's how you get it out, which is the important thing. Obviously, installation is reverse or removal. Put it back in, get it bolted down, put this back in, get your positive back on, your negative back on, everything clipped back in the right place. Again, you're going to have to relieve tension to slip that belt over the smooth pulley. You might need help to do that. Reconnect the battery. After the battery is tightened back down, then you can go ahead, plug your mass airflow sensor back in.